What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out some of my battles, my first battles in the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic, which is now here. And I do apologize, the last couple days, actually almost for a week now, I've been sick. I don't know if you guys could kind of tell in some of the videos I dropped, but I'm finally feeling better. I'm diving back into it, and with a meta that I think is really fun, and that is the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic. No legendaries, no mythicals, no XL Pokemon. There's a lot of great Pokemon, and I've built an extended roster before XL Candy was dropped last year. So this is going to be the team today. Venusaur, Lapras, and Gyarados there on Safe Swap. If you don't have Shadow Gyarados and don't have Dragon Tail, just try normal Gyarados with Dragon Breath, with Aqua Tail, and Crunch. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, getting into this first battle, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Snorlax. So this is a pretty good matchup for us, as Frenzy Plant just does so much damage, so we're likely going to be able to force a shield and kind of soft lose the lead right here. There's no reason to necessarily swap out into Gyarados or Lapras, as Snorlax doesn't really pose a threat to Venusaur like instantly, you know. So we're going to see a body slam now come through. We're not going to shield this. It doesn't do too much damage, but we should be able to get to this Frenzy Plant in time. This is going to set us up pretty well. We're either going to win the lead or we're going to see them put up a shield, and then I will basically bring in the Gyarados to farm them down. So they go ahead and throw the next body slam right there. I'm surprised they didn't try to risk it and farm a little bit more with Lick, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Gyarados right now and start loading up on energy, but they instantly swap into Kingdra, which is why I love Dragon Tail Gyarados. It hurts. It's an absolute truck. It destroys Dragonites and Kingdras, as they are weak to Dragon Tail. And then Crunch right here is going to put them in a really tough spot. It does land for neutral damage, and we farm them down. And that we don't know what's in the back. As long as it's not like Ampharos, we are looking pretty good. So let's see what is going to be coming in. It's going to be a Venusaur, so still a tough one in the back to deal with, but thankfully we can get to the Crunch in time. This is going to be forcing a shield from them, and if it doesn't, that means Lapras can 2-shield, Ice Shard down, and we do get the shield. So we're going to go ahead and just keep going. Hopefully I can get to an Aqua Tail in time, but they're just committing to the full farm down, which is the best play they can do right here, because they don't know what's in the back, but Vine Whipping down Gyarados is the smart call, so we can't let them do that. We're going to go ahead and swap into our Lapras right now. We will shield this first Frenzy Plant, but Ice Shards honestly do so much damage. It is a legacy move, but it just does so much damage right here, and we will see the Snorlax come in. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a Surf right away against Snorlax for two reasons. One, I don't want to risk getting hit with a superpower, and two, I don't need a charge move to take out this Venusaur. I just need Ice Shards and a shield. As you guys can see, it's going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent there in game one. Alright, moving into this next one, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Lapras. So still a good matchup, but Lapras is so strong in this meta, and they decide to swap out into Trevenant. And this was the first time I actually faced one. I know it's spawning in the wild, and you guys are having a blast catching these things and powering them up right here, but this was my first time facing it. I know it has Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball, so I'm hoping I can sneak through an Ice Beam right here. This is what my hope. I'm going to look to go for a no shield and flip this mid-game matchup. As they're going to be able to spam out charge moves quicker than I can. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this Ice Beam. I'm hoping they just decide to no shield it because they think it's Surf and then just farm down, but they do shield, so we do get a shield from them, which is okay. And I can't really come in with Venusaur. I mean, I can, but I want to come in and load up on energy with Gyarados, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I obviously need to watch out for Seed Bomb and Shadow Ball. It does a lot of neutral damage, so we'll go ahead and shield, and I'm just going to look to commit to the farm down because of Dragon Tail and how oppressive it can be, especially on a Shadow Gyarados right here. So we do fully farm down right there, which is beautiful. We have lots of loaded energy, and we do see the Lapras come back in, so I'm not sure what is going to be in the back, but I'm going to go ahead and overload a bit on energy, and I'm hoping to catch a Surf on Venusaur. That's going to be a play for me that I have in this mid game to kind of turn this thing around, and we do catch the charge move right here. Hopefully it's not an Ice Beam, but I think it is just going to be a Surf, and it is. So that's a beautiful catch right there. That's a lot of wasted energy, and their final Pokemon is actually going to be a Nidoqueen, which Venusaur does like seeing, especially when ahead on energy, because Frenzy Plant just does so much neutral damage. Now we know Nidoqueen from the Great League, right? Poison Jab, Poison Fang, Earth Power, so I don't need to shield right here. It's gonna hurt, but I think I can survive and be able to get to one more Frenzy Plant in time, as we are a bit ahead on energy. So I do get to the Frenzy Plant in time, which is beautiful, and thankfully we still have some energy on Gyarados as well and a shield left. So Nidoqueen does go down. We see the Lapras come back in, and this is where things get kind of dangerous. Lapras with Ice Shard can farm down Grass-type Pokemon just like that. But again, Gyarados, I left a lot of loaded energy on it, so we're going to go ahead and throw this Aqua Tail for the shield bait. And we do get it, and hopefully we can get to one more Aqua Tail in time. Now we'll obviously have to shield a Surf, even though it is resisted. This is the last chance right here, and we are going to be able to get to that Aqua Tail in time. But is it gonna be enough to take out the Lapras? It is resisted, so let's see. Oh, 1 HP in a dream, but we get it with the Dragon Tail right there, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving to this next one, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Swampert. Another very good lead. Venusaur was very nice for me today on leads with all the Lapras, Swamperts, and Empoleons that I saw. So this is obviously a very favorable matchup, and they do a great swap on catching the Frenzy Plant. I should have recognized they were going to try to go for that, but hey, that's alright. It does quite a bit of resisted damage anyways. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Gyarados right here. Now, I make a mistake and I go for Aqua Tail right away. This isn't going to be enough neutral damage to take them out, so I should have gone for the overload on energy, because after landing that Aqua Tail, I'm not going to get as much energy from farming this down as I will be committing a shield to keep this positive matchup. And to be fair, Lapras, Gyarados, Venusaur, doesn't matter. Swampert has a tough time facing off against all of them, but a slight misplay on my end right there. I should have just overloaded and then thrown the Aqua Tail towards the end, but Swampert's going to go ahead and come back in and throw the charge move. It's probably just going to be a Hydro Cannon, which is not going to be enough to take us out, and we can get to an Aqua Tail in time. Because of that groundwater typing, this is going to do neutral damage, and honestly, it hurts. And if this lands, things are looking pretty good, but we don't know what's in the back. So it does land, and they swap into a Machamp. So this, a Shadow Machamp at that, this is troublesome. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm basically going to have to sack a Lapras after bringing in Venusaur. So I got to bring in Venusaur right here, put some pressure on shields with the Frenzy Plant. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that, but I don't get to it in time. So I will have to shield the potential Rock Slide right here. It's going to do quite a bit of neutral damage. Now we'll go ahead and throw that Frenzy Plant. And then I'm going to need to go into Lapras to try to chunk as much health as I can with Ice Shards right here. Is they're going to have to throw energy in order to take us out. That's what's great about Lapras, is it's so bulky that even at full health, the counters and the cross chop we are going to see is not going to be enough to take us out, which means they're going to have to throw it in order to do so. Otherwise, Ice Shard would take them out. So we throw the Surf here. We do get the shield. Now, can we farm down? No, they decide to swap into Swampert at the last second. Granted, the Machamp was one fast move away there from going down, but this is going to be very close. We're going to come back in with Venusaur and farm down the Swampert. The Machamp has some loaded energy right here, and it does get to the charge move in time. This is probably going to be Rock Slide, but hopefully our Venusaur can hang on. Yes, it does. Not enough damage right there, and we will be able to get to the Frenzy Plant. And that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent right there. Venusaur putting in a lot of work for me today. Did really well and got a lot of leads. There were so many water leads. All right. Moving to this next one, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Empoleon. Like I said, Lapras, Empoleons, Swamperts. This is what Venusaur was eating up today, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, if we were to face off against a fire lead like a Charizard, we'd just swap into the Gyarados, right? That's going to be our safe swap. But they're deciding to stay in, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the Frenzy Plant right here for neutral damage, and it lands. Now, we got to be careful when it comes to the fast moves right here. We want to be counting. Every 5 waterfalls is going to be a Drill Peck, so we're going to go ahead and shield. And then I'm going to farm up as much energy as I can before they get to the next one, as I don't want to have to double shield. I can survive a Drill Peck, but I'm reading that they may be running an ABA line, meaning there's going to be another water in the back. Now we do see the Charizard come in, so we're going to go ahead and swap into Gyarados, but they actually have a Venusaur in the back, which is fine as well. Drawing this thing out is beautiful for us, as Lapras can handle the Charizard with our Surfs. It can handle Venusaur with Ice Shards, and we do have our own Venusaur still alive. Now, hopefully I can get to the Aqua Tail, but I can't. So we got to let the Gyarados go right here. I need to save my shield for Lapras in order to have a chance to close this game out. We're going to go ahead and bring back in our own Venusaur for the mirror matchup, as Lapras has a much better matchup against Charizard in the back because of that fire typing. So we're going to go ahead and let the Sludge Bomb go through. Again, our win con here is with our Lapras. All hope is put into it. We're going to throw this Sludge Bomb, and then I believe I decide to swap into Lapras. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and swap into Lapras, and they swap at the exact same time into Charizard. So even though Charizard is it's going to be doing neutral damage to us is what I'm trying to get at here. So we got to watch out for Blast Burn, but I'm going to let the first one go as I'm more concerned about a Frenzy Plant landing than a Blast Burn. So we go ahead and throw Surf right here, but they do get to the charge move, which is unfortunate. I'm going to have to shield. I should have thrown the Surf one turn before. That way it wasn't going to be a CMP tie, but this Surf should take out the Charizard right here. And if they decide to shield, which they do, I'm going to go ahead and overload just a bit and then throw the Surf now. The opponent's Venusaur as well is pretty low after landing the Sludge Bomb, so we should be able to Ice Shard down before it gets to a charge move. And even if we don't, we have our own Venusaur as well. But Lapras cleaning things up very nicely for us today. All right, moving to this next one. We have Venusaur on the lead versus Nidoqueen. Again, somewhat of a nice matchup until those Poison Fangs really start adding up. So we're just going to throw that first Frenzy Plant, let Poison Fang hit us, and then we're going to go straight into Gyarados to get ahead on energy and clear the debuff from Venusaur right here. So we throw that Frenzy Plant, we get a shield as well, that's ideal, and we're going to go ahead and let the Poison Fang go through. Again, Nidoqueen does so well once it can ramp up its damage, so we're going to stop that damage being ramped up. And we do see a Venusaur now come in. So we're going to go ahead and just go for Crunch. Hopefully this lands, as it's going to do so much neutral damage. That's what's great about Gyarados, is it doesn't care if it sees a Venusaur. It can just chunk. Now we're probably going to have to give up 2 shields right here in order to win this mid-game matchup, but I think that's going to be worth it for me, as I'm going to get so much energy from these Dragon Tails. Plus I'm just going to try to risk it and hopefully farm down before they get to another one, but no, they do get to a second one in time. That's fine. I'm going to commit to the farm down right here, as we don't know what's in the back, but if it's another grass type, then we can align Lapras to Nidoqueen and Venusaur to that grass. So let's see what's going to be in the back right here. If Nidoqueen comes back in, which it does, we have Aqua Tails ready to go. This is absolutely absurd. This is just so much damage, which tells me maybe there's a fire in the back. So we're going to go ahead and swap into Venusaur now to draw out whatever's in the back, and it's actually going to be a Drifblim. So we just go for the Sludge Bomb. Both Frenzy Plant and Sludge Bomb are resisted. I think technically Frenzy Plant just does slightly more damage. But either way, we're not doing much right here. But hey, we're still looking pretty good, as we do have Lapras, which is extremely bulky with Ice Shard to be able to farm down the Drifblim. And we have an Aqua Tail loaded on our Gyarados right here. So we're going to bring in that Lapras, look to load up on some energy. We're going to have to tank a Shadow Ball to the face, but that's okay, because this is an Ultra League Lapras, which means it can tank it perfectly fine. So here comes that Shadow Ball. You guys will see how much damage this does. Not too much, not too much. We're looking pretty good. We're just going to load up a bit on energy and throw this Surf right here. Again, we still have our Gyarados with an Aqua Tail, so things are looking very good, as I'm going to need this Nidoqueen to throw all of its energy in order to take us out, because it's going to have to throw an Earth Power right here. If this is Poison Fang, it's not going to be enough. Ice Shard and Surf will be enough to take it out, but it is going to be the Earth Power. So we go ahead and swap now into the Gyarados, and we have that Aqua Tail ready to go, and this should do enough super effective damage to take it out, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. So dancing around Nidoqueen's Poison Fang is definitely ideal when it comes to handling it. All right. Moving to this next one, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Sylveon. Another Venusaur is just solid for me today. I only did 2 sets, and this thing just went on a tear. Now, I'm going to watch for them doing a swap at some point, which here they go. They do swap into Machamp. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Frenzy Plant. Now, in hindsight, I should swap out myself into Gyarados right here, but I decide to stay in because I have so much energy to just throw 2 Frenzy Plants. I'm hoping they decide to no shield the second one right here, but they decided to go for the double shield, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Gyarados and hopefully get to an Aqua Tail in time before they can get to basically 2 Rock Slides. I want to try to get this thing out of there and save myself a shield as well, but they go for the Cross Chop Shield Bait, so that's a great call by them, and I'm going to go for Aqua Tail now. Hopefully this does enough neutral damage, but let's see what happens. Nope, it survived. Machamp survived with 1 HP in a dream. That is so unfortunate. I got to give up the double shield here, and it is going to be the Rock Slide. So we are going to farm down. We're probably going to be seeing that Sylveon come back in, but thankfully we can do some nice neutral damage here with Aqua Tails, but they're going to fully farm us down with Charm. And so we're going to have to tank that energy on Lapras, as Sylveon does have access to Psyshock, which is going to be doing super effective damage to Venusaur, as you well know, because of that poison typing. So we have the Aqua Tail go through. Sylveon hangs on, and we swap instantly into Lapras to try to catch them off guard with an Ice Shard, but they swap into a Swampert right here. So Venusaur obviously is a great matchup against their whole team, able to handle Sylveon, Swampert, and do really well against Machamp as well. So the Swampert here is going to have to go for the Earthquake in order to chunk us. But it's not going to be able to really get to 2 in time because we can get to this Surf and then basically farm down. If it does get to another charge move, it's just going to be Hydro Cannon, as it can get to it in 5 Mud Shots right here, which I think it does. So that is basically going to be a good game. We still have our Venusaur. Yes, they have Sylveon with energy, but it's not going to be enough to take out my Venusaur, Gyarados, and Lapras, as they're going to have to throw energy right now. Otherwise, Ice Shard takes them out. So good game, very well played to my opponent. But hey, Venusaur had a great matchup against their whole team. There's really nothing they could do. So we have Venusaur versus Swampert again on the lead. I swear, because there's no Talonflame, everyone. This is what's amazing. There's no Talonflame, so people are rocking so many water leads, as they're very, very strong. But we have the Swampert lead, and they swapped into Venusaur right here. Now, I don't have a direct answer for Venusaur, right? Lapras does okay, Gyarados does okay, but I have to shield. So I'm going to go ahead and no-shield the Sludge Bomb, but my Lapras and Gyarados also do pretty well against Swampert. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave my Venusaur into this matchup, throw a Frenzy Plant as we do get a shield, and then look to go for the Sludge Bomb. I will be shielding this next charge move from them, as it's probably going to be a Sludge Bomb, and I want to get 2 shields from them if they're looking to win this mid-game matchup. So we do get to the Sludge Bomb in time. This should take out the Venusaur. Otherwise, we're getting 2 shields, and then we're just going to load up with Gyarados, most likely. I believe I did in this one. So we're going to let the charge move go through. If it's Frenzy Plant, we survive and we swap, which we do. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Gyarados, start getting ahead on energy. Excuse me. And they do get to the Frenzy Plant in time, which is fine. I'll safely shield this right here. I don't know what's in the back, but we know it was a Swampert, and it's actually going to be a Sylveon now. So Lapras is still looking very strong. It's a strong anchor for this team. No pun intended, as is a Lapras that swims on the ocean. Hope you guys got that good dad joke. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and just go for these Aqua Tails right here. This is what's nice about a Gyarados. Hopefully you guys have the legacy one from Community Day, as Aqua Tail is just so clutch in these matchups, but we aren't going to be able to get to a third one in time. Like before, we're going into Lapras right here because they're most likely going to be throwing energy right away, and we want to save our Venusaur. And they do throw right away, so hopefully this is going to be a Psyshock, but let's see. It is going to be the Psyshock that doesn't do too much damage to us, and we can fully farm down. We know there's a Swampert, and we know there's a Venusaur still left, but Swampert is pretty loaded on health, but not loaded on energy, so we should be looking pretty good in this matchup. Now, one thing I can do is look to catch the charge move on Venusaur. So I'm going to go ahead and load up, and then I'm going to look to swap right now to catch the charge move, but they decide not to throw it, so that's a good call by them. But we already have a Frenzy Plant ready to go. This would be taking out the Venusaur, and then Swampert is basically going to have to throw its energy right here. I think they might have been able to commit to the farm down, if I'm being honest, and that would have been absolutely deadly for us, but that's okay. They threw their energy. We get to the Surf in time. In tandem with an Ice Shard right here, this should be enough to take them out for a good game. Very well played. They do have energy, though. They hung on. I'm like, if this is an Earthquake, so be it, but it's too much energy. It's too much energy, so it is just going to be Hydro Cannon right there. So good game to my opponent. That was a real close one. All right. I believe that was the final one. Yeah, that was the final battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Just a nice ABB line of Venusaur double water with Lapras and Gyarados. You can handle those dragons. You can handle the fairies. You can handle the fighters. You can handle the Trevenants, whatever, the tree, Shadow Tree. Yeah. Anyways. Oh man, it's been a long week. All right. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.